Hi guys, happy Friday, or since it's October, happy Freaky Friday. I decided I wanted to do something a little different this October. So I love ghost stories and urban legends and I just love it all. Campfire stories. So I thought every Friday I would tell you guys some scary stories. And we'll just make this Freaky Friday every Friday of the month of October. So I don't know about you, but when it's chilly out and there's an awesome ghost story going on, I love apple cider. So if you want, grab a cup of apple cider because it's delicious and listen in, and I'm gonna tell you a couple of ghost stories / urban legends. Alright, so I want to start with my favorite urban legend of all time because it is so freaking creepy. That one is called Humans Can Lick Too. So I am going to be reading it just because sometimes my memory is not perfect and I don't want to skip any of the good parts. Getting in the zone of my scary story voice. That's not my scary story voice. Humans Can Lick Too. So the story goes, a young teenage girl lived at home with her mother, father, and her much-loved pet dog. Being 16 years old, her parents decided that she was now old enough to be left alone without a minder while they went out for the evening. Although there was some concern about leaving a young girl in a house all by herself, they knew she was sensible and would behave. And besides, she did have the pet Alization dog to look after her and keep her company. The parents left for the night, leaving emergency phone numbers and supplies for the night. The girl was thrilled to be spending her first night alone in her parents' house and mainly watched TV until 11. Deciding she was tired, she moved upstairs to her comfy bedroom to retire for the night, her trusty Alization dog following her all the time. After being asleep for a short time, she woke to a dripping noise coming from the bathroom. Not afraid, but curious as to what the noise was, she lowered her hand down beside her bed to gain a little comfort from the Alization. She felt the warmth of his soft tongue as he licked her hand, showing her that he was okay and that everything would be all right. Feeling assured, she drifted off to sleep once more. Waking once again to the sounds of the dripping tap, or whatever it was, in the bathroom, she instinctively dropped her hand down to pet her dog. Once again, the dog offered up the loyal companionship that only a much trusted and loved pet can, and he licked her hand, and once again she fell asleep. For the last time, she woke up again, and the annoying noise was still going on. She reached for her dog but found that he wasn't there. Wondering where her parents were at this time of night, it was about 3:30 a.m. by now, and looking for her dog, she walked out into the bathroom. A horrifying sight met her. The dog had been mutilated and was creating the dripping noise. As blood slowly fell and pooled on the floor below, screaming, she ran back through the house and attempted to call the police. The phone was dead, and as she turned, she suddenly saw her parents also mutilated behind her. Her screams could be heard as she looked down at the note written in blood. It read, "Humans can lick too, my beautiful." She then runs madly for the stairs, only to see a black figure waiting with open arms to catch her. So that is my favorite. There are so many different variations of this urban legend, and I just love it for the creep factor alone. The fact that it was a human the whole time, that a human, a person, was licking her hand in this comforting way just to convince her that it was her dog, and to keep her comforted long enough so that he could like kill her parents and just like lull her into this false sense of security. And yeah, Humans Can Lick Too is my favorite urban legend of all time just because it is just so creepy. Like, it's just so creepy. I've heard so many variations where it's a boy sleeping on his couch and he reaches his hand down to let his dog lick his hand, and I've heard variations where the parents aren't there, it's just the dog, and when she turns around in the bathroom doorway, the killer's there. So since I've been planning this, I have been scouring the internet for scary stories to share with you guys. And so I actually downloaded a couple of apps because the internet, for the first time in like ever, was kind of disappointing me with the results. So the next story I'm going to tell you is Keyhole. A man went to a hotel and walked up to the front desk to check in. The woman at the desk gave him his key and told him that on the way to his room, there was a door with no number that was locked and no one was allowed in there. Especially no one should look inside the room under any circumstances. So he followed the instructions of the woman at the front desk, going straight to his room and going to bed. The next night, his curiosity would not leave him alone about the room with no number on the door. He walked down the hall to the door and tried the handle. Sure enough, it was locked. So he bent down and looked through the wide keyhole. Cold air passed through it, chilling his eye. What he saw was the hotel bedroom, like his, and in the corner was a woman whose skin was completely white. She was leaning her head against the wall, facing away from the door. He stared in confusion for a while. He almost knocked on the door out of curiosity, but decided not to. He crept away from the door and walked back to his room. The next day he returned to the door and looked through the keyhole. This time, all he saw was red. He couldn't make out anything besides a distinct red color. Perhaps the inhabitants of the room knew he was spying the night before and had blocked the keyhole with something red. At this point, he decided to consult the woman at the front desk for more information. She sighed and said, "Did you look through the keyhole?" The man told her that he had, and she said, "Well, I might as well tell you the story. A long time ago, a man murdered his wife in that room, and her ghost haunts it. They were white all over except for their eyes, which were red." That one was really creepy. Like, I don't know, the ending is a little weird because it's like, were they albino people? Like, why were their eyes red? But but still, like, the idea of, like, he thought there was something covering the keyhole, but it was actually like the ghost's eye, like that. It took me a minute, but then it creeped me out, like, really bad. I'm going to share one more scary story with you guys tonight. And this story is called Lost Phone. One evening, a woman came home late from work. She put her purse down on the kitchen table and started rooting through it. Then she realized she didn't have her cell phone with her. She couldn't remember the last time she had it. I must have lost it on the way home. She went into the hallway, picked up her landline, and dialed the number of her cell phone. The phone rang for a long time, and then someone picked up, but they didn't say anything. "Hello?" said the woman. There was no answer, but she could hear someone breathing on the other end. "Hello, can you hear me?" she said. There was still no answer, but the breathing got heavier. "Hello, can you hear me?" the woman asked again. Then, in a low voice, the person on the other end said, "I hear you." Then they hung up. After that, the woman kept calling her cell phone, but no one picked up. Eventually, she gave up in frustration. It was late, and she decided to go to bed. When she went upstairs to her bedroom, she was shocked to see her cell phone sitting on the nightstand on silent mode. Oh my God! Like, I read that story a day or two ago, and just now reading it, it gave me chills. Like, that is so terrifying. Like, someone was in your house on your phone and probably right behind you with a knife. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed those scary stories. I have had so much fun planning this, and I've been wanting to do this for a couple months now. I've been planning this. So I'm just so excited to finally be sharing scary stories with you guys because I love scary stories so much. Alright, if you guys like this video, let me know in the comments below or by hitting that like button. You can always send me a Snapchat at Tonks1989 to let me know if you like this video. And of course, come back next Friday for another episode of Scary Stories. Or Freaky Friday. I haven't really decided what to call this yet. Alright, I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next Friday.